Hello my peeps, this is Kat aka Kakibot and this is Kakibot's Guidebook, and in this video I am taking you all around the northeast coast of England because you are here for one of the following reasons. Either you are looking for some inspiration for your own road trip, or you are based in Scotland and you're looking for some easy day trips to do from Scotland into England, you know, the closest part of it, or you joined me for my whole series on the northeast of England where we visited all of these places. So, you know, if you haven't seen those, please go check them out. I'm gonna link to the playlist below, but don't go watch those just yet. You are in the right place to see a lot of beautiful places around England. So yeah, we're going to be starting in a place which I think that some of you with a keener eye for England's history might be able to recognize. We are, of course, on the Holy Island. Now, I have a bit of a personal story. This is actually the end of our whole trip. We were supposed to make this our first stop, and in the end, this is our last stop of this whole expedition. This is because we arrived here 10 days ago and we realized we have absolutely none of our camera gear. Yeah, so we kind of messed that up, but now we are back, happy to show you around, show you some of the beautiful castle and also some of the very romantic ruins. Hopefully you are excited, and don't forget there's gonna be many more castles to come in this video, and maybe even a bit of vampirism. Ooh.
So if you had to pick one of the places that I'm gonna list in this video, Holy Island should be it. This place is amazing and it is relatively close to the Scottish borders. So maybe if you're going to Berwick-upon-Tweed, you should drive a bit further and visit the Holy Island as well. You, of course, have to first check when the safe crossing times are, because this is an island and it kind of all depends on tidal times when you can actually cross to visit it. It is roughly 2 6-hour windows every day, but there's a website that you can check out that lists those windows pretty conveniently for you. If you're wondering about the seemingly random line of sticks in the sand, that is actually the Pilgrim's Way to Holy Island, a 2-hour walk over the sand. This island has only about 160 residents, but up to 650,000 visitors every year, and there's a plenty for them to do and see, including fantastic coffee shop and roastery called Pilgrim's Coffee. They seem to have expanded into ice cream now too, really giving Holy Island kind of a proper summer vacation vibe. Lindisfarne Castle is probably in my top 3 castles I've seen in the UK. I mean, don't you have a list? Even without buying a ticket, you get to enjoy walking right around it and appreciating it from every angle. The castle was built in the 16th century using stone from the local priory, which got disassembled after Henry VIII's dissolution of the monasteries. Very early in the 20th century, the castle was bought from the crown by Edward Hudson, the founder of the Country Life magazine. Apparently, George V was quite terrified of the isolation that came with the tide here and was more than happy to move into the comforts of Bamburgh Castle instead. You could happily spend a whole day here, granted you plan well around both weather and the tide, but we had to travel on to the aforementioned Bamburgh. I was really excited to visit this castle as it was featured in one of my favorite comfort video games, Forza 4, which also includes a strange small version of Edinburgh, just in case you ever miss the city. A little gaming pro tip. Tired of castles yet? Me neither. off to Dunstanburgh, where you'll get to enjoy a lovely stroll through the seaside village of Crusher. I mean, look at how blue this water is. Then you'll continue onwards towards the castle ruins through what I can only call sheep safari. This really offers quite a unique opportunity to take dramatic sheep shots, something I am very much into. This is a 14th century castle, which has witnessed much conflict during the War of the Roses, but unfortunately fell into decay after this. Apparently, the castle was considered a possible target for a German landing, and a radar station was built near the castle. All safe now, let's hope. After driving past the beautiful Alnmouth, which we do have a video about, by the way, on this channel, it's connected to the Anig vlog, so if you're interested in another idea for a great day trip from Edinburgh, go watch that. Anywho, we ended up in Amble, where you can find a wonderful seafood spot with these little cozy cabins. I had some langoustines, which have cut up my fingies into pieces. These wee beasties do fight back. Otherwise though, amazing fresh food, would recommend. Amble is also right next to Warkworth, and that is a place name that makes me feel like the Swedish chef whenever I say it out loud. Warkworth. The castle ruin here is another impressively sized medieval structure. This one was mostly in the hands of the Percy family, a very powerful lineage here in Northumberland, and as a matter of fact, some parts of it officially belonged to them up until the late 80s of the 20th century. I do applaud their loyalty to their not so humble abode.
Welcome to the second half of our northeast coastal route. As you can probably tell, we are now a bit more south, but still in the north. That's probably confusing, but surely informative anyway. And the more knowledgeable of you can probably already tell where we are right now. We are in Whitby. This is my first time here. I've always wanted to come here. For some people, this is like a nice, pretty, picturesque seaside town with its own fish and chips festival. And for others, it's a bit of a Victorian literature, sort of gothy pilgrimage, and I kind of fall into both of those camps because Dracula, often when people ask me, I say is my favorite book. Just like Jonathan Harker, maybe you can tell I'm a bit low energy because of my anemia, but I also have obtained some sort of cold during our travels, so please excuse my sort of nasal vocal expression. Anyway, to give you a bit of a background, some facts, when Bram Stoker arrived here in 1890, he only had a little baby of an idea. He knew he wanted to write something about a vampire, but basically, other than that, nothing. Then he arrived here in Whitby, sat on this very bench that I am looking at, Simon is standing just behind it, and got inspired by this amazing view, specifically of the Whitby Abbey, which by then, obviously in 19th century, looked the same as it does now. It is this huge, impressive building that unfortunately was ravaged by the Danes. Many things in this area got ravaged by the Danes. Those Danes. if you're a Dane, let us know in the comment section. Anyway, he looked at that and, you know, he started getting this instant inspiration. Then he started talking to the sailors down in the harbor. He started walking around the cemetery, getting inspired by the names on the gravestones. At the end of this, he brought us a book that for many people is a big faith, including myself. And to this day, you can tell that the town likes to remember Bram Stoker and his Irish literary skills by, at the very least, this bench, and hopefully by some merch, but I haven't seen any yet. I think that I've seen like Dracula fudge. I'm not sure if that's what I want. Anyway, we're gonna go explore now, and I don't think I want to do it on foot. Bat!
Robin Hood's Bay might be the most photogenic little village of this guide, so make sure you don't miss out on it. It was pretty enough for me to survive all of its steep slopes despite the crappy cold I had while visiting. Also, you can probably tell that I also have a crappy cold right now, because the universe likes symmetry. You might notice people fossil hunting on the adjacent beach, so if you're after some petrified beasties, give it a go yourself. This place used to be a smuggler's favorite. A lot of illicit business has been conducted around these tight alleys. And of course, I am guessing you're curious about the name. Well, I will let you down this time, because it is a bit of a mystery. Apart from one single ballad from the 16th century, there isn't any evidence at all of Robin Hood's connection to this fishing village. Maybe you'll dig out a clue somewhere along all the local trilobites? Are you going to Scarborough Fair? Then maybe we'll see each other, because that's our next stop. And yeah, Simon and Garfunkel pronounce it kind of funny. It should be Scarborough, not Scarborough. I am obsessed with the sense of past grandeur in this seaside town. Health-promoting spring water has been discovered here in the 17th century, starting off a big boom in spa resort and hotel development. One of the hotels here even has its own dedicated funicular, which also makes the city centre easily accessible from the beachside. The 20th century unfortunately hasn't been too kind to Scarborough, with naval attacks by German fleets and tragic landslides eroding the charming resort life history of this town. I really wish I could see it at its peak in 18th or 19th century.
And that, my peeps, is the finish line of our little road trip adventure along the coast of northeast England. Hopefully this has given you some good inspiration on what to do around this part of British coastline. Obviously there are so many more places that you could visit, so many more things you could do around here, but we kind of made this video on the side of our main videos about kind of the tourist hotspots in this area of England. So yeah, if there are any extra spots that are perhaps your personal favorites, somewhere that you find extremely photogenic and you would want me to go back and take some nice footage of, let me know in the comment section below. As always, let me know if you love Dracula. let me know if you enjoy this way of spending your summer in 15 degrees, having a little splash in the cold North Sea.
It's sometimes warm here, honest.
I think that Scarborough would probably have a very different vibe on like a good sunny day. Unfortunately, the sun we had over in Whitby kind of stopped sunning by 3 p.m. English sun, similarly to me, does not believe in work days longer than 6 hours, so this is what we're working with. Okay, that is it from me. Don't forget to visit me on Instagram, KakiBots, KakiBlog, illustrations, photos, and I also have a Patreon page. So if you enjoy this content, if you want to maybe give me like a little tip, not informational, but monetary, you can visit me over on Patreon and leave me a couple of pounds there for all the work that goes into these videos. And of course, if you become one of the higher tier members, you also get a monthly bonus video. So that's a good thing, right? Let me know which part of this coast you love the most, and I shall see you soon. Bye! Is it on that side or that side?
It's on that side.
Yeah, this one?
Yeah.
This one? Yeah.
That one.